So we are now in the last month of the semester, the first semester of the year 2025. I would therefore like us to use this month to start thinking about the outlook for the second semester and to see what has worked in our administrations and what has not. And as you can see, this morning we have just raised the flag with the Confederation's anthem. This is yet another step we are taking in our union. This is not without a difficulty, because unity is hard, especially in Africa. It is difficult to come together, but it is the solution. We must unite. Little by little, the AES is making steady progress. Despite all the difficulties, all the challenges ahead of us, if I were naive, I would ask myself the question, but why do the imperialists not want this union? But I'm not naive, and that is why. And it is the same question that those who still tend to sleep should be asking themselves. Why do they not want us to unite? Why does the Confederation frighten or trouble some people so much? Because we are constantly being targeted by these imperialists, trying to get one of the three to betray the others. We have been facing this for a very long time. Every time, it is these kind of schemes that are used to make you leave the Confederation. This should make us think. And when we look at our relationships, there is actually no friendship. In this world, there are only interests. People only come to us for their own interests. We need to be fully aware of this. They will fight us. They will keep fighting us, but we will emerge victorious and strong. These situations we are experiencing, we must not take them and feel sorry for ourselves. On the contrary, it should make us stronger. We must come out of much stronger, understand why we have been so heavily attacked, toughen ourselves, and ensure that in the coming century, we never experience this kind of situation again. That's what we need to keep in mind. So I invite everyone to redouble their efforts, because Burkinabe people are known to be very courageous, hardworking, and resilient. And these values, we must work to further improve them. Everywhere you go, whether in Africa or elsewhere in the world, you will find Burkinabe people. And it is these values that define and identify the Burkinabe. So we must do everything we can to be men of integrity, as the name of our country suggests, to be courageous, resilient people, full of self-sacrifice, and to redouble our efforts in everything we do for the good of Burkina, but also for the good of our confederation. That is very important. And once we have reached a certain level, you will understand even better why we are fighters. Because our country is rich in its human value, rich in its moral values, but above all, rich in its subsoil. And it is these riches that are coveted, that these riches must benefit the people of Burkina Faso. Nothing has really started yet in terms of exploiting natural resources and distributing the benefits. So at the level of the general population, we can change the face of our country. We can move out of this situation of underdevelopment and very quickly become an emerging nation. All it takes is work, and everyone needs to get involved. Just as the fighters are sacrificing themselves on the front lines, we must also be able to make sacrifices within the administration. We need to make sure that we work beyond what we are used to push our abilities even further. Because, as I was saying, we have to move very quickly, and it is by moving quickly that we can catch off guard those who are trying to divide us, those who want to keep us in a state of poverty. Burkina is not poor. I tell you, I repeat it to you, we are very rich, and that is our main problem. It is because of this wealth that they do not want us to first realize that we are rich and to be able to exploit our resources. And beyond Burkina, the entire Sahel is rich, immensely rich. And I know that all of you are aware of this. The Sahel will not remain poor. We will continue on our path, continue building the AES to be strong, resilient, to make the AES a space of complete security, to be able to properly exploit our resources so that they can benefit our popular masses. With that, I invite you to pass this message on to all your loved ones. We must make sacrifices here in the rear, in the offices, in order to support those who are on the front lines. So I wish you a very good week, a very good month of June, and a great end to the first half of the year. See you soon to tackle the second half with more energy, more selflessness, and more courage. Homeland or death, we shall overcome